These are my top 5 things that are stopping people getting fluent, even if they've been trying for years. So if this is you, here's some tough love. I really want you to succeed. Just playing tunes because you like them doesn't mean you're learning to play jazz. Now, are there naturals that pick up tune after tune after tune and figure out how jazz works? Yeah. Is that 95% of people? Not really in my experience. So I come across people every single day who've tried to play jazz for years. And if they've got anywhere, then they get a pile of tunes because they like the tune and they keep trying to play them. They don't have any freedom. They don't understand the language of the tunes. And if they do understand it, it's not happening as they play. The understanding is separated from their playing. It's not happening during play. And then they go, well, how do I improve this? How do I add to it? But if I change one thing, the whole thing falls apart. They haven't got any linguistic skills. They're just trying to learn to play tunes as if it were a classical lesson. It's not going to work. It's just chasing what you want to hear instead of building real ability. And you end up struggling through tunes with no transferable ability, right? You can end up with thousands of data points, but they're not connected. And jazz standards do the same few things again and again. So it's worth learning those things and then applying them to jazz standards. Focus on the ingredients and then apply them to tunes. Confusing knowledge with skills. Most people try to learn jazz piano and say, but I know what 2/5s are and I know 1/6 2/5s. But if you ask them to actually test that knowledge and show you right now, they think it's okay to go, yeah, I can play 1/6 2/5 in B flat. And they go, no, 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 I didn't mean that. I meant this. It's just that you were here and I did it. That's not knowing it, right? Knowing it means it doesn't matter what's going on. You just can't get that wrong, right? And you can vary it. And it's not going to mess you up, right? That kind of knowing, because you have to know things to the degree where they can't be taken away from you. It should be, it has to be that those chords going by, you're not even thinking about them anymore. Jazz requires these automatic usable skills. It's a language. That's why I call it jazz skills. Surface understanding doesn't translate into playing. Getting bored and switching focus is a major barrier for people's jazz fluency. So what happens is there's so much available now online that it's easy to put a little bit of effort into something, say it didn't work, and then just try something else. Or, I need variety and I need to have lots of different things to do, otherwise I get bored. But the thing is, you need to get depth in practice. You'll see a lot of my videos go into this on a practical level for chords, for improvisation, for learning. So I'm not doing that here. Today's tough love. So it's really important to get something, drill it until you can't have it taken away from you, until it belongs to you and it just can't be shaken. Because when you get up to play, whether it's with other people or in any stressful situation whatsoever, your playing is going to be taken down by a percentage. All of ours will be. And therefore you have to be over prepared and over ready. And it's really easy to underestimate how ready you have to be. Jazz will keep teaching you that you need to improve what you think you already knew. So all the shiny new syndrome stuff that we've got with all the videos and all the emails we get, I'm going to show you how to change your playing in one day and it's this thing that you're missing and all of that stuff. Yeah, great. But have you really got any depth in one thing that you're trying to master to give you the language fluency? Or are you just going around in that same loop? And by the way, you can end up going to teachers who also don't know how they got where they got. And then they end up sitting next to you, going in the same loop that you're going in. Let's play some songs that you said you liked, that you wanted to bring with you, and that'll give us something to do. Yeah, we can look at what Bill Evans did, but you don't know 2/5 in G flat. You don't know that F sharp minor 7 to B7 should lead you to the key of E minor. And that E minor could be in the key of C as the 1, 2, 3 chord. That E minor could be in G as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chord. Or that E minor could be in the key of D as the 1, 2 chord. And you'll keep getting that F sharp minor 7 flat 5 B7 because it leads to E minor. I teach that all over the place, so I won't go into it again. But it's simple little things like that, not to know intellectually. It's no use watching the video and saying, yeah, I know that. You've got to know that in your heart. You've got to, if you see an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 on the page, you've got to know, oh, probably B7 to E minor, right? That kind of knowing, but all over the piano. And don't get overwhelmed by this idea of all over the piano. Get it organized. That's what we do on JazzSkills. We make it so it's not overwhelming. Get it organized, make it fun, find ways to practice it. Trying to improvise before you can play. So I see people all the time who think their problem is improvisation, where actually their problem is they don't really know the chords in their tune properly. If I say to them, play me the B section of your tune just in chords, and let's say it's Have You Met Miss Jones, which is probably way too hard for them to improvise over, but they don't know that the B section goes, they'd have to think about that. Or look at the sheet music. They haven't practiced just the chords in their left hand, or they haven't practiced the chords in both hands for comping. So the language is the harmony, the chord progressions, not just chords, the chord progressions. And that's what we're improvising over. So that's the part that we shouldn't even have to think about as the music's going past. And therefore, there's no foundation to build the improvisation on, or the scales are weak. That bridge requires just a few scales. But if you're having to think about what the chords are, it can't work. Going round in circles with bad advice. There's lots of well-meaning advice, like, you just got to listen to lots of musicians, man. Yeah, great, but just because you listen to lots of musicians, if you're a classical player and you haven't played jazz before and you're just trying to figure out what's going on here, it doesn't mean that you're going to learn from that flat 3 diminished in the key of C, 1, 2, 3, you flatten it and play a diminished, normally goes to 2. Most people aren't going to get to those realizations on their own. So study, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. You'll end up going to teachers who go, all right, let's take a tune from the real book. All right, today it will be after you've gone from the 20s, 1920s. And then let's look at a tune from 1985. And there's just like, where are we here? What's going on? Start with the jazz standards because they contain all the secrets of how the music works. They've got the repeatable progressions, the language of the music that all the greats studied, and that really gets you fluent. Don't ignore the skills and the structure, and don't use style instead of substance. Work on that substance and the style will take care of itself. I see it day after day. People transformed by studying the right way, and that's what inspires me. So I just want you to know there is help out there. If you really want to study this way, learn the language of music and have fun while you're doing it, and actually get good, come and see us on JazzSkills.